Most people walk into their home every day and have no idea what or who is already there. They kick off their shoes. They turn on the TV. They go through the motions. And they never stop to ask why this place feels different, why the weight lifts the moment they walk through the door, why something here feels safe in a way they can't explain. Here's what nobody told you. God doesn't send angels to every home. Most churches won't say that out loud. But Scripture is clear. Angelic assignment is intentional. It's not random. It's not automatic. God does it on purpose, for specific people, in specific places. And if you've ever felt something in your home you couldn't explain, a calm with no right to be there, a protection you didn't earn, a presence you sensed but never saw, you need to stay with me today. Because we're looking at 5 signs that God has assigned angels to your home. Not your neighbor's, not someone else's, yours. Number 1. There is a peace in your home that doesn't make sense. You know what I'm talking about. Life outside those 4 walls is hard. Bills you don't know how to pay. Relationships breaking down. Stress you've carried so long you've forgotten what it felt like to put it down. But then you come home, and something shifts. Not because the problems disappeared. They didn't. But the moment you cross that threshold, the atmosphere changes. A quiet settles over you that has no logical explanation. You take a breath and it feels different, lighter, safer. Most people explain it away. I'm just comfortable here, they say, and they move on. But here's what the Bible shows us. Philippians 4:7 says the peace of God surpasses all understanding. Not some understanding, all of it. Meaning if you can fully explain the peace you feel, it might not be from God. Real divine peace doesn't make sense on paper. And in 1 Kings 19, when Elijah was broken and wanted to give up, God didn't send a sermon. He sent an angel to let him rest, right where he was. That's not coincidence. That's assignment. If peace finds you at home even when it has no reason to, don't explain it away. That peace has a source, and that source has wings. Number 2. The children or animals in your home react to something you can't see. Maybe you've noticed it. A toddler laughing at an empty corner. A baby reaching toward the ceiling with pure delight, tracking something with their eyes you simply cannot find. A dog that suddenly stops and stares at a space where nothing is standing. You told yourself it was nothing. But in Numbers 22, Balaam's donkey saw the angel of the Lord long before Balaam did. A prophet. And the animal saw what the human couldn't. That's not a children's story. That's Scripture telling us something real. And in Matthew 18:10, Jesus said, "Their angels in heaven always see the face of my Father." They're angels. Present tense. Active assignment. Children haven't learned to dismiss what they sense yet. Animals operate outside the filters. Adults have built up over decades of doubt. So when a child laughs at nothing, or a dog watches something cross the room you can't see, don't be too quick to correct them. They might be seeing exactly what's there. Number 3. You've been protected in ways you still can't explain. Think back. There was that time you almost weren't where you were. A last-minute change of plans. A delay that annoyed you. A gut feeling that made you turn around and go home. And later, you found out something happened in the place you would have been. You called it luck. You moved on. But luck doesn't have a pattern. And if you trace the close calls in your life, the accidents that almost happened, the moments that almost went wrong, you'll find a pattern that luck simply cannot account for. Psalm 91:11 says, "He will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." He will command. That's not a nice poem. That's a promise with an assignment attached. And Daniel didn't survive the lion's den because he was brave. He survived because God had already stationed something in that den before Daniel ever arrived. Daniel said it himself. My God sent his angel and shut the lions' mouths. Sent, intentional, deployed. You're not still here because you're lucky. You're still here because something was sent ahead of you. That protection didn't start with you. It started with God. And it operated from your home outward. Number 4, your home feels different from other places, and other people notice it too. Maybe a friend walked in for the first time and stopped, just stopped, and said, "It feels so peaceful in here." Someone who doesn't even share your faith sat down and exhaled in a way they couldn't explain, and you've felt it yourself. You've walked into other spaces and felt something heavy, something off, like you couldn't wait to leave. Then you came home and felt that shift again. Most people call it familiarity, comfort, their own stuff around them. But Jacob didn't think that. In Genesis 28, he woke up in an open field and said, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it." He recognized a spiritual atmosphere, not because of furniture, because of what was present there that wasn't present everywhere else. And when Elisha's servant panicked at the enemy surrounding them, Elisha prayed one prayer: "Lord, open his eyes." And the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire, already there, the whole time. That's not decoration, that's presence. What you've prayed over, what you've allowed in, what you've invited, and what you've refused, all of it shapes the spiritual climate of your home. And when God assigns angels, that climate becomes something other people feel the moment they walk through your door. Not every home carries that. Yours does. Number 5, you pray, and you do it in your home. This one sounds too simple, but don't underestimate what happens in the spiritual realm when a believer opens their mouth inside 4 walls. Maybe it's early morning before anyone wakes up. Maybe it's late at night when the house is finally quiet. Maybe it's not even formal prayer. Maybe it's just you at the kitchen table talking to God like he's sitting right across from you. Most people think prayer only changes their heart. It does. But that's not all it does. In Acts 10, Cornelius prayed at home regularly. Not a prophet, not a priest, just a man who prayed in his house. And an angel appeared to him. The angel said, "Your prayers have come up as a memorial offering before God." Your prayers went up. They arrived somewhere. They were received. And heaven responded with an assignment. Revelation 8:4 shows it clearly. The prayers of God's people rising like incense before God. And immediately after, angels were given assignments. Prayer and angelic assignment aren't separate things. They're connected. When you pray in your home, you're not talking to the ceiling. You're sending something upward that God receives and responds to. You're inviting heaven into your space. And heaven, when invited, doesn't come empty-handed. Don't stop praying. Whatever you do, don't stop. That prayer is the reason the angels stay. So here's what we know. Unexplained peace. Children and animals seeing what you can't. Protection that logic can't account for. A home that feels different from everywhere else. And a prayer life quietly inviting heaven in. These aren't coincidences. They aren't lucky streaks or overactive imaginations. They are signs. God doesn't assign angels randomly. He assigns them intentionally to homes that have been open to him. And if you recognized yourself in even one of those signs today, pay attention to that. Heaven chose your address. Hell already knows it. Protect what God has placed over your home. Be careful what you allow through that door. A home covered by God is a home worth fighting for. And the enemy knows it even when you forget. If something stirred in you today, type this in the comments right now. 3 words. My home is covered. Say it like you mean it, because it's true. Share this with someone whose home needs this reminder today. And subscribe, because next time we're talking about the specific prayers that angels are assigned to respond to. You don't want to miss that. Your home is not just a building. It is a dwelling place. And God has not left it unguarded.